Okay, she's calling. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, you guys. I am going to eventually share my screen, but first I'm just going to do a little introduction for those of you who don't know me. My name is Ashley Undercuffler. I have been with Beachbody since 2015, but I was never a coach before. I tried everything in the world as far as I knew to get fit. I signed up for LA Fitness, and at that time it was 45 a month. And I was really ready to nail my goals. I walk into LA Fitness, and they're like, you sign up, here's the money, welcome to LA Fitness, and there's 400 machines, and they're like, good luck. Oh, we can give you an introductory rate to our personal trainer for only $50. And you're like, yeah, that's not bad. And then every session after that goes up to like 90 or something, but so that was very expensive. I didn't know what I was doing at LA Fitness. I would get on the treadmill and I would walk for an hour and watch something on my iPhone and call that a good workout. And I wasn't seeing results. Now I understand why. Back then I really didn't. And it was very frustrating. It was discouraging. I had a couple friends sign up with me and we thought we would do all the classes together. But I don't know how many on this call are from LA. The LA Fitness next to me is always packed. I would have to find street parking outside the parking lot. It was just an effort to get to LA Fitness. And then I would sign in, go to the class, wait in this long line, and hope that there was space left. And then my two friends who I signed up with on a family plan for a small discount never showed up. So the girl showed up one time. We did like a yoga class together that was really packed. And I really liked the class. But you're doing downward dog and your face is next to someone else's bum, essentially. It was just a little invasive and frustrating because I wasn't seeing results, but I also didn't know a lot about nutrition back then. So then I had a couple friends who owned a pole dancing studio and a Krav Maga self-defense studio back to back. So I was their friend. They gave me a really good deal. I could take both classes and get a really good workout at the same time supporting my friends. Pole fitness was really big back then, and this was probably 2014, and I just wanted to do it for the workout. So the first 45 minutes of class, we'd be learning, swings and climbing up and down. I had a blast climbing up and down that pole. When my upper body strength was starting to kick in, I was on the cloud nine. I'm like, I'm a strong woman. But then the last 15 minutes of class was always freestyle dance, and the studio has all these mirrors, right? And you would watch yourself dance. And I'm not a dancer. I've never been a dancer. And watching myself dance was not my cup of tea. So that was getting expensive at the time. And early when I moved to LA at the same time, my family was not having good luck. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, but she beat it. So it's a happily ever after. But she had to stop working. I supported her financially. My father was having some problems and I was helping him out. Now he's good. And my brother was transitioning through jobs and he was in school full time. So I was like the mama bear of my family, which I didn't mind doing, but there went those fitness classes. They were expensive. And then I had a friend who's a personal trainer and he's like, I will give you personal training and help you with nutrition for like half of what we charge in LA. In LA, the average rate for a personal trainer is $100 an hour. So it was $50 an hour, which I thought was a good deal. But then finding a time that worked for him and worked for me at the same location, maybe once a week, was really difficult. So obviously I wasn't seeing results very fast. Maybe I could do one more push-up every like 2 months or something. So my journey has been crazy. I wasn't till I'm also an actor, for those of you who don't know. I live in Los Angeles and I moved here to pursue acting, and I was a flight attendant. I flew corporate for almost 10 years, so I've been all around the world. And while that was an amazing job, I really wanted to come back to LA and be here to pursue acting, which is the whole reason I moved here back in 2011. I kind of lost sight of that for a long time. So one of my actor friends, Jennifer, she was a Beachbody coach, and she asked me probably 3 or 4 times to just try one of her workout programs. And I was not a believer in at-home programs. I truly thought I had to go somewhere to become fit. And that kind of mentality really held me back for a while. But then she said to me, we have this new program. It's called 21 Day Fix. It's 21 days and 30 minutes a day. She almost dared me to try it. And I was like, fine, okay, 30 minutes a day. What could be so bad? And guys, it changed my life. I started seeing results after the first round, and it was so fun. And that super trainer in that video, our personalities really matched. Beachbody has a lot of super trainers, but that was Autumn Calabrese. And she was so uplifting, and the music I could bop to, work out to, and it was over before I know it. I did that program, I kid you not, for an entire year straight. Even though at that time, Beachbody probably had 70 programs, I did 21 Day Fix for a year. And my coach was like, you should probably try another program, because what happened is I plateaued. I was doing the same moves on my body for a year that I did plateau. So then I did 21 Day Fix Extreme, which was a whole nother beast, but it targeted muscle groups that I didn't know existed. So then I was like, that's why you switch it up. And it started clicking more. So yeah, I am an actor. I was a flight attendant. I gave myself a goal last year. I didn't have a boyfriend, and dating in LA is hard enough, right? So I was like, I want a boyfriend one day, and I want a dog one day. So I'm going to bust my butt with Beachbody coaching. I'm going to give myself a year, and at the end of that year, I'm going to quit my day job. And I did. So that was a huge accomplishment for me. No more flying unless it's for my personal vacation, which is super exciting, right? I don't have to request off work anymore. I don't have to. I'm going to mute Sir over there. So yeah, that was really incredible to be able to do that. Now I have an amazing boyfriend, and he has a dog, so I got both of those. So I'm like stepmommy to the dog, and I'm a cat mom. So my cat was extremely more happy and healthy when I was able to stop flying so much. So that's a little bit about my backstory. I'm going to share my screen with you guys now so you can see a little bit more of my story, and we're going to go through your questions at the end. So, okay, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Awesome, you guys rock. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, so living in Los Angeles, and I'm sure a lot of other cities, maybe New York, I'm from South Florida, Miami can be very superficial. In LA, you know, I was very tall at a young age. I started modeling school when I was 15, and I was insecure. I thought that I had to be a stick figure to be a model. I'm a curvy girl, so, and I have hips, which you can't remove no matter how hard you work out, right? So I was a little insecure about my body. My stamina wasn't great. As an actor, you do a lot of odd-end jobs, and when I first moved here, I didn't have any stability in one job, so I never had enough money to do all these things that I wanted to do. What I thought was happy back then, I did believe I was happy, but now I know that there's so much more to life and I can be happier. And like I mentioned earlier, I flew for 9 years, and I kind of lost track of why I moved here. I forgot that my goal was acting. I was having a blast seeing the world. I've been to 25 countries about, and I've seen some amazing things. I don't regret it one bit, but I had to remind myself what my purpose was for moving here. So now, like, I am a lot more confident in myself. I actually have a savings account. I didn't have one 9 years ago or 5 years ago. So now I have a good savings account. I even have a retirement account, which is really unheard of for someone who's my age and an actor. Most actors don't have their stuff together, which is a terrible thing to say, but I can say that because I'm an actor. Now I live with purpose. Now I wake up every day and I'm actually excited to go to work. I love helping and inspiring people. I love seeing people succeed and reach their goals. Now, like, I do value myself. I put down here, knowing my value. I know what I have to offer and I can bring to the table, and I feel confident in that. And now I'm okay with, if you don't like me, then whatever, I don't care. Those of you who know me know I'm very bubbly, very energetic, and I like being that way. I'm actually living my dream now. besides COVID kind of interrupting life, I'm able to pursue acting and dedicate my time to the things that I moved here to do. So this picture right here is me and my boyfriend, Kevin. He is big into fitness as well, and he's actually in a couple of the Beachbody programs. That was not on purpose. We actually knew each other from mutual friends. It just so happens that our worlds connected. This picture up here is me and the Market Council. I am one of 5 people on the Los Angeles Market Council for Beachbody. So that's really cool. I host tours at headquarters when circumstances are normal every 3 to 4 months. For anybody who visits, they're totally free. If you want to see what headquarters looks like, just let me know and I will take you. This is one of my first before and afters. This girl right here really thought she was in shape, and I was never obese. I was never severely overweight. So my transformation isn't as dramatic as a lot of other people's. So I had trouble believing initially that I'd be a good coach, but we'll talk about that more in a second. So this was after 2 rounds of 21 Day Fix. I was so determined, you guys, to follow the nutrition plan and the portion container control to a T, to the point where I was on a trip in the middle of these 2 rounds. I landed at Phoenix Airport and I had to airline to another city to get to the airplane that I was working on. And in that terminal, there was a Mexican restaurant, there was a sub restaurant, and there was something else. And I knew that I needed 3 servings of vegetables in that day to complete my nutrition plan. And none of these restaurants had vegetables. The closest thing that I could find was corn salsa at the Mexican restaurant. And I lost my shit. I called my coach pretty much in tears, and I'm like, I'm trying so hard to stay on this nutrition plan and this airport doesn't have vegetables. So I felt forced into eating somewhat bad food, and it wasn't bad. And she had to stop me and say, like, it's okay if you have one thing that's bad. It's not gonna throw 20 pounds back onto you, you know, just do your best and make better decisions. And, you know, diving into the nutrition plans really helped me understand how my body processes different categories, proteins, carbs, etc. So before we go any further, I'm just going to read a disclaimer from Beachbody. Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coach opportunity. Each coach's income depends on his or her own efforts, diligence, and skill. See our statement of independent coach earnings for the most recent information on actual incomes of all of our coaches. So a little bit later in the slideshow, I'm going to show you a video from our top coach in the entire company. Her name is also Ashley, and her name is Ashley Molstad. And she was our top coach last year, and she shared her private income journey for the first time. So I'm going to show you guys that so you can get an idea of the possibility. I personally don't want to share my private finances with the world because this will be up on the web, but just so you guys know and you can get a good idea, we'll show you that. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, you know, could I make a good coach? Would I make a good coach? Or you might already have told yourself that you wouldn't make a good coach. You could be right, but let's talk about the general reasons for that. You're not in shape. Most people, and I want to say 99% of people, think that they are not at their ideal body, right? Have you ever told yourself that? Like, I know I'm not fat, but I also know, like, I have a long way to go to be at my perfect image. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no perfect in your own mind. We all have self-hate. We all have to overcome that. And I want you to always tell yourself that it could be worse, right? So I used to think that even now, I'm the strongest I've ever been. I believe that I'm the fittest I've ever been, but I also know that I have work to do. It's a journey. It's not like I get to the destination and then I'm just going to stop. It's a constant journey. It's a lifestyle choice. And I personally believe that when you have a transformation story to show, and I didn't really have a massive transformation. You guys saw my before and after. I was always like thinner with curves, but I was never obese. So I never went from really big to a transformation to like small for people to see. So I think that coaches that have like the bigger transformation, it's more drastic for people to connect to, but you don't have to have that big transformation story. My upline, she was like 5'3", and she submitted to the Beachbody challenge, her before and after results, and I couldn't see a difference, but she won $500 and it just blew my mind. But you don't have to be in shape. People connect more with you if you're completely honest and authentic to yourself. So for me, I'm curvy, I embrace it, but I'm still working on, you know, leaning out a little bit here and there, working on my abs. When I first saw abs, man, my happiness shot through the roof. I'm sure some of you can relate. You don't have to be in shape. People connect more with real humans than perfect Barbie doll figures. Does that make sense? I think so. Okay, cool. So, but I don't have time. That's the next objection that we hear so often. Being a coach doesn't have to take a lot of time. We're all busy. We all seem to fill our days with stuff to do. Like right now in quarantine, we aren't really working, but somehow our days are still so busy. And that's all about like your own management. You guys might have to sacrifice some TV time or, you know, some leisure time laying out at the park, whatever it may be. You can become a coach in 60 minutes a day. I provide my coaches with a very specific power hour sheet to just do the vital behaviors, and staying consistent in that way over time builds trust with your followers and good habits for you. So we will talk about that more if you join me, and I will train you on how to stay consistent. So like I said, I gave myself a year. That was my deadline for myself to be able to quit my full-time job of flying. So it's not overnight success. It does take work and consistency, but I promise if you put in the effort and you're willing to dedicate 60 minutes a day minimum, you will be successful. But I'm not good at selling is the next point right here. I don't believe that selling is the right mindset to have. What we do as Beachbody coaches is share our journey and our love for the programs and the products. So 21 Day Fix, I'm sure you guys can see like how excited I am when I talked about that. I did that for a year. I loved it. That's how much I loved it. I did the same 7 videos every week for a year. Now Beachbody makes their programs in real time, which means every day is a brand new video. So I just completed Morning Meltdown 100. It's a 100-day program, and every single video was a new, freshly filmed video with the cast and super trainer. So, but I did the same 7 videos over and over for a year. That's how much I loved it. So if you love the products and the programs, it's not going to feel like selling. You're just sharing your journey and your love for it and your results. And I promise people are going to be attracted to that. If you're just out to make a quick buck, you guys, this is not the job for you. If you just want to get on your Instagram and be like, buy Shakeology, that's not what this is about. This is a passion. You have to enjoy inspiring, motivating, and helping people achieve their goals. Okay, you have to want to be there for them. This is not a get rich quick scheme. And, you know, so I hope that makes sense. But I'm not inspiring. Some people tell themselves that a lot, right? Have you guys ever told yourself that? You didn't feel inspiring? Yeah. Okay. I guarantee you, at least one person has thought of you in their life as inspiring. Whether it's, wow, she got married and that guy seems great. That's inspiring. Or like, she can run around the block 3 times. I wish I could do that. That's inspiring. There are so many things that you're not thinking about you that have probably inspired someone before. And I promise you, if you share your journey with people online, our business is mostly online, there's going to be people who look at you with envy and, you know, want to learn from you, and they'll continue to follow your journey. I've had people, including one of my best coaches, who's actually my cousin, Victoria. She told me, I love you, girl, for 9 months, it was 8 or 9 months, every month that she was ready to join and give Beachbody a chance. And then I'd be like, okay, like here, let's get you set up. And then she'd say, okay, I'm not ready. The next month she would tell me, I'm ready to join. And then she didn't do it. And 8 or 9 months later, She finally joined, and she lost about 40 pounds in 3 or 4 months, and would just tell me how she can finally hike up that hill with her son and spend time together. And she's doing all these things she wished she did. And I'm just like, girl, you know, like, you can't tell people you should have joined 9 months ago, because that pushes them away. But retrospect, right, is a thing. So now she's inspiring people, and she's actually doing really great. You might think that you don't know enough people, right? That's kind of the beauty of our job. It's mostly online. Yes, you can sell or talk to people and inspire them in person, but we are blessed with the ability to reach people online without leaving the comfort of our own home. And I want to say somewhere between 80 and 90% of my business comes from my Instagram and my Facebook. And that's just from me sharing. People will watch you online, and it sounds creepy, but they will watch you for 6 months to a year and say, okay, I've been watching you. I want to know how you got your flat stomach. What are you doing? And I've gotten those messages that say that, like, I've been watching you for 9 months. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's weird, but that's what people do. They're kind of stalking you and watching you to see what you do. And if you stay consistent, that's going to inspire them to do the same. Okay. Wait, is this a pyramid scheme? We get that all the time, you guys. And it's no one's fault that they don't know the difference between an MLM or a pyramid scheme. If you're not in the business, it's not something someone just randomly wants to go look up on their own one day. So I'm going to give you an example of a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are illegal, and as soon as the government finds out about them, they get shut down. There's no way around it. No one becomes successful in a pyramid scheme and invisible at the same time. It doesn't work. So I have a couple friends who live in North Carolina, and they both joined a multi-level marketing company that was also a pyramid scheme. And they signed up under a friend. Their friend signed them up, and they became distributors. That was their term. We're coaches, they're distributors. We're not the same, but just so you understand. And to become a distributor, they were required to pre-purchase a bunch of products. So they would buy $50 worth of products, the stuff would ship to their home, then they would be responsible to resell those products to make their money back. That was the job. At Beachbody, we do not do that. You, coach, are only responsible to buy what you want to use for you, for your journey. If I came to you and said, I also want to buy Shakeology, you'd be like, great, here's the link. You order it from Beachbody directly. So we don't have an inventory. We don't throw parties at people's houses like the Mary Kay days. We don't have to set any of that up and buy products to stock our own inventory with. It's not how it works. However, my two friends in North Carolina, and bless them, they're wonderful people. I love their personalities. And they really thought they could sell. Like, you get inspired and passionate about something, like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to make millions, right? We've all felt that passion. However, every month they would have to buy products to stay active to be able to receive commissions. So if they didn't buy product again the next month, they wouldn't be able to receive their commissions. So what happened was, there's two of them. They weren't really selling. They weren't doing well. And they started collecting products in their garage. And these products are consumables. They expire. Within 6 months, they had so much product and they were in so much debt that they ended up having to leave their house. They couldn't make their mortgage payments anymore. It's really sad. They moved into a trailer on the same lot as the girl's mother. And yeah, so, but in order to get out of that debt, they were told, okay, you guys can't sell your things, but if you sign up more people as distributors under you, then that will make you commission, and you can just keep doing that instead of concentrating on selling. You can just concentrate on signing people up, but not selling the products that you have. So that's one example of a pyramid scheme. There's quite a few ones out there that aren't legal, but that was a big one. I'm sure a few of you probably know which company I'm talking about. Since then, they've been forced to restructure, and that's not how they operate anymore. But yeah, Beachbody does not require you to buy any products to resell. If your client comes to you and says, I need help with energy, so maybe you would tell them to buy an energy booster for their Shakeology, or maybe a pre-workout that's all natural, and they would just buy from Beachbody. Beachbody handles all of the shipping, all of the billing, all of the card processing. As coaches, we do not get to know our clients' credit card information. That's not something we know. That's, you know, I'm really grateful for that. So at the bottom here, I wrote, if you don't sacrifice now for what you want becomes the sacrifice. So if you're someone who's like, I can't give up my TV at night and that's the only time I have to work the business, then, you know, that's your choice. But I promise you, it's worth it. If this sounds like something you still want to do, it's really rewarding. So, okay. So I'm going to see if I can move this a little bit. Beachbody has the 4 vital behaviors. You know, be proof the product works. That's our workouts, and then our nutrition. So it's 1 and 2. We recognize, you know, people who do a good job. That's why I have all these before and afters over here. And then we also do personal development. So we've rewarded it a little bit different here. These are a lot of transformation stories you guys can see on the side here. I'm going to point one guy out down here on the left. This is Jose. He is another one of the LA Market Council members with myself and 3 others. If you guys follow my page, you know there's Jimmy, Sabrina, Annie, Jose, and myself. We run the Los Angeles Market Council. He's also in a program called Mes de Más, which is in Spanish. So yeah, we have Spanish programs too, super fun. And these are a bunch of other people who have been in our challenge groups who have seen great success. So I hope you guys can see these. Yeah, so like this one, that was Tiffany. She's from Morning Meltdown 100. She lost about 65 pounds over probably like 120 days time. She was doing 2B Mindset, which is one of our nutrition programs, and she stuck to it. And if you guys want to know more about the deep dive nutrition programs, I will tell you about them later. And yeah, so the first vital behavior is work on becoming your best you. And sure, that means working out. Sure, that means nutrition. But that also means more than anything is your mindset. Personal development is a big task in Beachbody. Beachbody doesn't provide self-help books or anything like that, but they strongly encourage working on yourself. So I never listened to a personal development book until I joined Beachbody. And after I listened to my first book, my life changed. Now every single day, I try to listen to a minimum of 15 minutes of personal development. And it's part of our to-do list. Even though Beachbody doesn't sell any, it's part of our to-do list, working on becoming your best you. So a whole well-rounded total solution, and I believe a positive influence. I'm gonna take a sip of water. I hope you all don't mind. Okay. Okay, number 2, shine your light out for others. We talked about this a little bit already. This is sharing our journey on social media, sharing it with our friends, sharing it with our coworkers, with our family. You know, when you feel good after a workout, people can see your personality change. You know, working out releases endorphins. Eating healthy makes your body feel better, which makes usually your personality better, right? When we feel like crap, most of the time we're not, you know, woohoo. But when you're working on yourself, you get your workout in, you eat well, you feel good, you feel more confident, you can do more when it comes to workout. It's a whole package. And then number 3, help others do the same. So I tell all my coaches, you know, even if someone gives you an objection, like I can't afford it right now, or I just don't have time, and they push you away, you know, that's fine. Let them be on their own journey. We all have our own journey, but just be there for them and available to help. I'm not saying work for free. I'm not saying give out anything for free, you know, maybe a little bit of time. But if someone's like, right now it's just not the right time, don't be mad at them. Just say like, okay, right? One of the girls I invited to the opportunity back in August last year told me, I can't right now. Excuse me. And then she didn't explain to me why, and it's none of my business. But this past week she messaged me and she was like, Ashley, I'm so sorry. I pushed you away. Like we went to high school together. She's like, you're always such a positive person online, and I want to help you in your business. And I also want to get fit myself. But back in August, my mom passed away. And I was like, holy crap. You know, she didn't have to tell me that back in August or this week, but she did. And now I understand why she pushed me away. But you never know what's going on in people's lives. And sometimes it's just about them finding the right time in their journey to join us. But just being there and nice about it. Don't be like, you said no, well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore because I was really hoping to make a sale. That's not what this is about, right? I hope all that makes sense. So like my cousin I guess told you about, she's a coach now. She took 9 months to join, but then when she did, she saw a total life change and she was happy. So you just have to be patient and allow people to find their own journey, like I did too. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys a video from Ashley Molstad about her income. It's about 9 minutes, okay? She is a mom and she's been doing it for 8 years now. So I think this income video goes up to last summer. That's not the right one. That's an hour. We're not going to do that. Oh, okay. There it is. Okay.
All right, now this is the one a lot of people are probably very curious about. This is something I'm generally hesitant to share because I think it's kind of unrelatable at this point. So I've never shared this publicly. And again, I want to just do the income disclaimer. Nothing is guaranteed. So Beachbody does not guarantee, and I do not guarantee, any level of success or income if you join me from this Team Beachbody Coach opportunity, right? Everybody's income and their journey depends on their own efforts, diligence, and skill. So I can train you and I can share with you the things that I've learned that worked for me and have helped me get to this point, but I can't do the work for you. It's the same thing like in your physical journey. I can plug you into the system. I can teach you, I'll give you access to the workouts and teach you my nutrition principles and things like that, but I can't come into your home and do it for you. The same thing with this business. But I'm going to run you through real quick. All right, good. We're doing okay on time, so I'm almost done. Well, we've got 2 minutes, and then if anyone has questions at the end. But so I'm going to run you through kind of where I was at as these things all progress. So as I mentioned, I joined in July, or not in July. I joined in, I think, October or November or something in 2012, just for the discount, strictly for the discount. And then I sort of was like sharing it in the beginning of 2013. I was sharing it with just like friends and family around me, not really like strangers or anything like that. So 6 months into kind of sharing it here and there, on average in July of 2013, I was making $372 a week. So I was working full-time at my corporate job, and then I was working probably 5 to 10 hours a week on Beachbody at the time. So, 1 to 2 hours a day, most days of the week. A year later, July 2014, I was still working my 40 plus hours a week at my corporate job, but I had I started seeing what was possible, and I also felt so good. I just started loving it. My dream job was to work for Nike. I had no intention of ever leaving there, but this just felt so good. And so I upped it and I started working 25 hours a week on Beachbody. And that a year later, I was making just over $1,000 a week. So about a year in or year and a half in or something like that, I had matched what I was making at Nike. My income at Nike, I started at $52,000 a year, and then 5 years later, when I left, I worked at Nike for 5 years. I left, and I was making $57,000 a year. So a year and a half-ish in to sharing this, I had matched it. But remember, it wasn't really until January 2014 that I really started going all into this business and working hard and treating it like a business. A year after that, I had essentially doubled my income that I was making at Nike. And so I think August was my last month that I ever worked for Nike. I left my corporate job and I had upped what I was working. So I was still working my corporate job, even July, 40 hours a week or whatever. And I had upped to working 35 hours a week Beachbody, which means I was working 75 hours a week, right? But I ramped it up because I saw what was possible. And I knew eventually I was going to be doing this full time because I loved it so much and I saw the potential. So I left in August of that year making, $1,900 a week with coaching. Year after that, what was that? I think it was that year after that, I was able to bring my husband home. I was working 40 to 50 hours a week, making just over 2,000. So it wasn't a huge jump from July 15 to July 16, you know, it wasn't a huge jump, but I was able to bring my husband home. So we were both now full-time work from home people. He just was kind of supporting me in my business, and he is a coach, but really we work his business kind of together. A year after that, things were crazy, super busy. I had a post go viral at the end of 2016. So you can see I was still making six figures in 2016. And at the end of 2016, in November, I think it was, I had a post go viral. And things really changed from that. Now, of course, there's lots of people who have posts go viral that don't do anything with it. But I think because of my social media training, I kind of knew how to capitalize on that. And I have helped my coach, Emily Foppers, had a couple posts go viral, and I've helped her kind of capitalize on that as well. She is a top 10 coach also on my team, my best friends. But anyway, so July 2017, I was working 80 hours a week, and my husband was working probably 40 hours a week on coaching, but we started making almost $6,000 a week. A year after that, and then this year I ended as a top 10 coach. In 2017, I ended as a top 10 coach. July 2018, you can see huge jump, because then I started helping my team become successful and started building a lot of leaders, because I started finding so much more passion in helping people create this kind of freedom with coaching and not just their fitness journeys. And so made, $15,000 a week in July, and then go to last year making $23,000 a week. And you can see like things have shifted. Now, last year, I started ramping down my hours because I have a toddler and I was pregnant. And now I'm ramping back up because I'm feeling good again. But pregnancy was really hard on me, so I had to ramp it down. And we're not at July yet this year, but we are on an onward trajectory. So, to go from at Nike in 5 years, to go from making $52,000 to $57,000, I gave myself a $5,000 increase. Well, I didn't give myself; someone else gave that to me, because when you work for corporate, they're in charge of you, basically, in charge of your raises, in charge of your time off, in charge of all of that stuff. Here, in 6 years, I went from making $0 a year to last year I made $1.2 million by helping people, by helping me first, and then helping other people. And again, this is not guaranteed, and I really hesitate to share this with you guys because it is so crazy, and this was not my goal when I first started. Like, my goal when I first started was to just stop dieting. It was just to find confidence in my body again. And then it was to become confident in myself. And then as I realized how good I was feeling, I wanted to share that with other people. I never wanted to leave my full-time job. I loved working at Nike. Like, if I was going to be working, Nike's where I want to do it. But this felt so good. This enabled me to make a difference. And in 2018 and 2019, I did end the year as the #1 coach, but not based on income. That's based on basically the number of lives that you've been able to help and your team's been able to help. It's totally a team effort. So anyway, we can dive more. I'm sure you guys have questions on how you earn money. Initially, like the first several years, it's just based on retail. So anytime someone would purchase from me, it's a commission-based thing. As your team grows, there's some volume that you earn, and as your team grows, they'll generate volume as your team becomes more successful and they start building up their organizations. There's something called the team cycle bonus that you do cycle through. I don't make a percentage of commission on things that you sell, but there's volume associated with everything that happens in my organization. And then there's like a calculation that goes through. But I don't love to get into the weeds on all of the income stuff, because going back to people, when I say up here, I think from the last slide where I was like, who would make a good coach and who wouldn't? People that are really good at sales and don't care about people generally don't make a good coach. People that are 100% focused on income won't make good coaches. Now, you can have a goal to create some financial freedom in your family, of course, but if you're strictly focused on income and you're forgetting that there's lives on the other side of every single dollar that you would earn in this company, you will not be successful. This is not a get rich quick business. That you can get rich with this business, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of heart to show up and do that. So if you're interested in, overnight success, or even a year from now, making like the kind of money that I make today, this is not the business for you. People's lives are being impacted here. So you can't rush that. And your life is being impacted. Okay, let's go.
Okay. All right. So was that kind of neat to see like what the top coach makes, right? Definitely would be nice to make 1.2 million. But right. Okay. So there's 3 different kinds of coaches, right? So when I started doing 21 Day Fix, I did not do Shakeology. I didn't think I needed it. I just thought it was some protein shake that, just was like one source of protein. I didn't understand what superfoods meant. I just thought it was a fancy term people plastered on whatever they wanted to sell something. But understanding the science behind it was something I didn't take time to do for a couple months. So just so you guys know, I'm not trying to sell you on Shakeology or anything, but it is our most popular product. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it is. It's a superfood shake that has a bunch of like prebiotics, probiotics, minerals, vitamins, etc. So it does help you curb your cravings, not because of any weird chemical in it or something like that. So I'm going to explain how it works. When your body is deficient in some kind of mineral or vitamin, like let's say your magnesium tank in your body is low and you're lacking magnesium, your body will manifest that craving in some way. Maybe you're going to feel like you want a steak or something like that. So what Shakeology does is it has all these minerals, vitamins, etc., that will fill up all of your tanks so that you don't have those cravings. I hope that makes sense. So that's how it curbs your cravings. So next time you're at a party and you see a bunch of cupcakes or cookies, like me, I have a sweet tooth, you can actually stop yourself and say like, do I need that? Or do I just want that? And you can kind of control yourself. So Shakeology for me, I gave myself a challenge. I did 21 Day Fix for a year, as you guys know, and it wasn't until month 3 or 4 that I said, okay, let me see what the heck they're talking about. So I decided to take advantage of Beachbody's 30-day money-back guarantee and try Shakeology for 21 days for one whole round of 21 Day Fix. I incorporated it into my day. I am a morning workout person, so I would wake up in the morning, do my workout, I'd make my Shakeology and whatever, recipe I liked. I love peanut butter chocolate. So I would do vegan chocolate Shakeology with half banana, some peanut butter. I'd throw some spinach in, ice, almond milk, and it would be a very full, filling meal. And I did it for 21 days because that's how long it takes to create a good habit. Plus, it was within the 30-day money-back guarantee that Beachbody offers. So if I hate it, I can just get my money back. And that's true. We have a bottom of the bag guarantee for all of our products. I could say on day 29 that I hate it, and they would have to give me my money back. So I gave myself a challenge, and I did that for 21 days. And then I stopped doing it for a few days, and I really did notice an energy shift and craving shift in my nutrition and my day-to-day life activity. So that was me proving to myself if it would help or not. And for me, it did help. And I have had it every day for over 4 years now. So I have all of the anniversary gifts to prove it too, which we can talk about more later. So I loved Shakeology and I wasn't making great money back then. So I became what's called a discount coach. That is someone who signs up as a coach, but doesn't actively work the business. So I got 25% off all of the products that I liked, all of the clothes I wanted to buy, equipment, etc. I got updated on all the new programs that were going to come out. And I was someone who was only interested at the time on working on my journey. So what happened over time was I was sharing my journey on social media, not because I had to, but because I was seeing results and I loved it and it was addicting. And slowly people started coming to me and saying, I can see a difference in you. People who knew me, who saw me on a weekly basis or daily basis in class or at work, would notice the difference in my personality, in my energy, in my physique. It happens over time. So they would say, I want to do what you're doing. Can you sign me up? And I would try to send those people to my upline coach because I wasn't working the business. And she would stop me and say, you can make that commission. You're the one who did the work and got the results, which cued that person to want to join. And I was like, okay. So she just showed me how to do it, send a quick link from my account, and they would sign up. And then the next week I got money deposited in my account. So it kind of, I transitioned from discount coach to hobby coach on accident, just from my own enjoyment of the programs. So I still got 25% off. I used the products. And as time went on, I wanted to learn more. It became this kind of cool addiction. Like, making money feels good, and especially when it happens on accident. And then I had a back injury in 2017 on an airplane, and I couldn't walk for a couple weeks. And over a 6-month period, I saw 10 different doctors. I had a back specialist who would help me figure out how to get fixed, essentially. I saw a personal trainer for 2 months. That didn't help. I tried trigger point injections. That didn't help. I had a chiropractor. I did acupuncture. I did the works, except for surgery, because they said to me, we can try surgery, but it might not help. So it's up to you. And I was like, no, I'm not trying surgery for fun. So I decided to really concentrate on my health and fitness and become stronger, which in turn almost completely eliminated the back problems that I have had. I mean, I would say at least 90% of the spasms and the pain that I used to have are gone because my physical health is 10 times better. So that's how I really got into the fitness. And then I became a business builder and decided that I needed to quit flying because that was where a lot of my back pain was coming from. I was standing on airplanes anywhere from 4 hours, sometimes to 17-hour flights, which are long days. And I was the only flight attendant on private jets. So it's a lot of time to be standing, to be serving. I was lugging around massive suitcases for a living, boxes of catering. I'd have to go shopping for 20 people for each flight. It was a lot of physical labor and fatigue on my back. So my back specialist said, you need to quit your job and just do something else, which at the time sounded absolutely absurd to me. I'm like, sure, you quit your job, and see how it goes down. And that was when I made the decision, like, okay, next year I'm giving myself a year and I will quit my job at the end of it. And I did. So now we're here, right? So I became a business builder for multiple reasons. One, I love the programs. I've seen results. I wanted to quit my job, and I did. So that is who I am now. And I love it. So enrollment options, there are a bunch of basic options. The completion pack on the left here in purple is for people who already have Beachbody on demand and they're already current subscribers. So you can start with the performance pack or Shakeology pack. If you're interested in more stuff, let me know later, but these are just the basic options. So we're not going to go into too many details. If you're in the UK, it's 130 pounds. In Canada, it's 160. Don't worry about the conversions. I can help you guys with all of that. We're also in France officially now, so that's very exciting. We keep expanding. It comes with early access to 10 rounds, which is our newest program that launched. It's boxing. You're going to get all these printed guides, resistance loops. You're going to get Shakeology or the performance stack and a shaker cup. If you're not a BOD member, a Beachbody On Demand member, then you're going to get a pack that includes all of that plus a year of Beachbody On Demand. So Beachbody On Demand is our virtual library. It's our virtual gym. We have 85 programs in the gym that are all included. So we have cardio, whether it's low impact or high intensity, or a mixture. We have dance programs, we have martial art programs, we have family programs, we have programs for kids or couples. We have Oh my God, we have so many programs. We have bar now. It's really incredible. So there's something for everyone, and you can switch every single month. They all come with nutrition plans. And if you're someone who wants like a competition eating plan, we have those as well. Yeah, and that's good for a year. So you can switch workout programs every single month, keep it fresh, or you can do like I did and do the same one for a year, which I would never do now because now I understand it's better to switch it up. Or the deluxe pack comes with everything that we just talked about. So the packs are really great because you save the most money with challenge packs. Plus it's going to waive the $40 coach sign-up fee when you sign up with a challenge pack. And it's really important for you to start with a challenge pack because you have to like the workouts and the supplements, I believe, in order to sell them. If you don't believe in the product, you're not going to be a good salesperson. If you hate the workouts, you can't find any super trainer that you get along with, you're not going to be passionate about it. Maybe you're really good at being fake and putting on a fake smile, but authentically, it's probably not going to work for you. So you have to like it to sell it, right? So those are the options. See some of you shaking your heads. It's really fun to sign up. So I'm going to go back actually really quick. This picture at the bottom is one of the events that we threw in LA. Someone messaged me privately and asked about in-person community meetups. So yes, this is a virtual business. However, 4 times a year, we have what's called a super weekend where we get together and talk about new products. We do new workout programs together. We have raffles and prizes and photo opportunities, and it's really, really fun. So this is another one we had when Morning Meltdown came out. So we're all wearing like Morning Meltdown colored t-shirts and stuff. Down here is Jimmy. He's on the market council. That's Sabrina. There's Jose. I'm tall way back here, and here's Annie. Those are the 5 on the LA Market Council. And we throw events here in LA together, but they're all over the country and the Canada, the UK and Canada. There are super weekend events everywhere. On top of that, we have what's called Coach Summit once a year, which is usually in June or July. And that's where 25,000 coaches all fly in together. And we have 4 days of events. And you get to work out with the super trainers, and all of us get together on Saturday morning and take over some part of the city and work out together. And it's really fun. We have keynote speakers and training sessions and Shakeology tasting, and it's just a blast. And then we also have events. We have retreats, and we have leadership trips, and then we have our Success Club trips. This year was supposed to be in Punta Cana. Last year I did so well that I got my trip paid for in Punta Cana, and I was able to bring my boyfriend, but we didn't end up getting to go because of COVID. But normally we have all of these opportunities for trips. So it's really fun, and anything is possible, you guys. So I'm looking at my notes here. Someone sent me an email earlier today asking about team meetups. So virtually, because we work virtually and my coaches are all over the country, we have my team meetings are on Monday nights at 7 p.m. in California for Pacific time. So that is 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. East Coast. And I record all of my team calls and upload them privately to my channel. So my team members who can't make it can still rewatch it later. Yeah, and I think that was the last question I wrote down. Just looking over. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, you guys can type them in. I am going to stop the recording here and figure out how to do that. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. All right. So if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat. You can message me privately. I hope that I covered pretty much everything. I know a lot of you sent me questions beforehand, so I wrote them down in my notes and added them. And thank you all for being here. I'm going to stop the recording now.